apartment and I went all in on mindset. And I said, I've got some issues here to sort out. I've got to learn about money, how to manage money, how to think about money, how to think about that. Number two, how to assert influence and power, and then how to just see myself. And I went all in on these areas and I'm reading books after books. I'm listening to all these podcasts. I got an opportunity to work at a job that was at an agency. A friend of mine needed some help. So I did sales for him, doing B2B marketing and sales. But the whole time I started building my coaching business. And that just built up and built up. I did a stint in influencer marketing and some of these other pieces. And so my career at that point started to take real focus. It was like the day-to-day stuff was nothing more than a bridge. And I was less inclined to be concerned about what was happening in my day-to-day as much as I was like growing, growing, growing. So I'm coaching people on my team. And then I started picking up clients. I started learning how to do social marketing, how to write copy that was organic and that would attract my ideal clients. And then I jump into direct messages and start having conversations with people and then finding out where they're at. And dudes are not the best at asking for help. And so it's been, a lot of learning about how to reach a man from a place of power and having a man feel like when you come to him, you're not saying, "Hey, I hear you're broken. I hear you suck. I hear you're needy." That's never going to move a man. But instead, like my whole premise is about reminding powerful men just how powerful they truly are. And that's my story.
Holy moly. And now you know why he's going to be a keynote at Grow for God. Selfless, shameless plug. So good, Angus. I mean, there was bits and pieces of that I hadn't even heard yet. And to hear it all in like that sequential order, so often people see where we are on this side of that transformation and they poke and they prod and they're curious and they might feel their own sense of shame or comparison or guilt towards not being where they are, right? Why they're not measuring up to the man that Angus is. And yet it's the fact that man was being sharpened and shapen and sanctified as you were willing to surrender, and also knowing that sometimes those moments of surrender were things that God handed to you in a not so pretty, package, but that you were always willing to go the distance, speak to resilience, speak to that idea of developing the mind and letting go of the control factor and the titles and the labels. I specifically love the stay-at-home dad stint, mainly because I know what it felt like as a stay-at-home mom for 3 years, same duration of time, and going into networking events with my husband or even just gathering within the community and people, what do you do? And right, like feeling shame towards the fact that I was about to say, oh, I'm just home with my kids.
Yeah.
And isn't that like the greatest job ever? Isn't that the biggest responsibility ever? And so, first off, just thank you for your vulnerability. I think that alone is something that is a huge factor to how you show men how they are actually standing in their strength when they have that ability to be present and conscious and aware, and also just the mountains that you're going to help move for relationships, marriages, even businesses and the missions of those businesses, because the men are going to have, and women. I mean, it moves me every time you talk is what we can do with what we've been gifted, but that it does take the energy and the effort that we have to put in to get there. So thank you.